Listen slow. Let the sentences land. Let the silence between them do the work. Conscious versus unconscious relationships. When two conscious people meet, it is not the fairy tale you were sold. It is not fireworks in instant completion. It is a meeting of two unfinished, honest people who have done the brutal work of becoming themselves. The moment you stop needing someone to complete you is the moment you become capable of meeting them. That is the paradox Jung taught and lived. Wholeness precedes union. Most of us chase relationships from a place of lack. We look outward for what can only be found inward. We fall in love with a reflection of our own missing parts. We call it destiny when it is projection. We call it magic when it is recognition. You think someone else will fix the parts you refuse to face. You think their calm will erase your chaos. Their confidence will fill your insecurity. For a while it feels like completion because, in truth, you are recognizing your own unlived life in another person. That recognition is intoxicating. It is also temporary. The Sigma label. I know this because I lived the other path. I chased projections. I blamed others. I used relief as a refuge and found it was a trap. Addiction, prison, betrayal. These were not metaphors for me. They were the furnace that burned away illusions. What remained was not a costume of mystery, but a set of hard-earned boundaries, a quiet discipline, a capacity to stand alone without collapsing. People call that Sigma. I call it consequence. Calling myself Sigma is not a vanity. It is a description. It names the architecture of a life shaped by survival. Solitude became shelter because the world taught me that being seen often meant being hurt. Silence became a place to hear the truth because noise had been a way to avoid it. Discipline became practice because escape had a cost. If you wear the label as armor to avoid growth, you are using it wrong. If you use it as a map of what you survived and a guide to what you must still build, compassion, accountability, connection, then it is honest and useful. Stages of awakening. Awakening is not mystical fluff. It is a psychological process with stages you can recognize in your life. First, you face the shadow, the parts you deny, the anger you hide, the selfishness you excuse. You own it without acting on it. That ownership is terrifying because it strips the mask you use to get love. But it is also liberating because the shadow loses its power when you name it. Second, you drop the persona, the role you play to be acceptable. You stop performing niceness or strength and start living with the risk of rejection. Third, you integrate your inner opposite, the Anima or Animus, so you stop projecting what you lack onto others. Fourth, you touch the deeper center of self, the awareness that watches your story without being consumed by it. Do this work and you become whole, not perfect, but whole. Conscious love. When two people who have done this work meet, the meeting is different. There is chemistry, yes, but there is also clarity. You feel seen, not completed. You feel curiosity alongside desire. You notice their wounds and you do not rush to fix them. You are drawn, but not desperate. Conflict does not become a battlefield of blame. It becomes a place to practice presence. Triggers still happen. Old wounds still whisper. The difference is you can name the whisper and choose not to punish your partner for a past that belongs to you. That is conscious love. This is hard work. It is harder than unconscious love because there is nowhere to hide. In unconscious relationships, you can blame, escape, or repeat the same drama. In conscious relationships, you must look at your contribution. Every fight becomes a mirror. Mirrors do not flatter. They show the ugly and the beautiful with equal clarity. That is the point. The relationship becomes a crucible for continued transformation. You do not seek someone to complete you. You seek someone willing to stay conscious with you as you both navigate your imperfections. Label test. If you are listening and you feel different, do not chase a label. Labels are shorthand. They are useful only if they point to responsibility. If you call yourself Sigma to avoid vulnerability, you are hiding. If you call yourself Sigma to describe how life shaped you and to remind yourself to keep building compassion and accountability, you are honest. The test is simple. Does the label excuse avoidance or does it demand work? If it demands work, keep it. If it excuses, burn it. Why I speak. I speak because I feel an urge, not to be seen, but to make seeing possible for others. I speak because I have watched men mistake silence for strength and solitude for virtue. I speak because I have been that man, and I know the cost. I speak because the mirror asked questions I could no longer dodge. I speak because responsibility became the only way out of the cycle I once lived. Hear my responsibility before you hear my claim. Hear that I do not romanticize addiction, prison, or violence. There is nothing noble in those things. The nobility is in the work that follows. The gift hidden inside suffering is not the suffering itself, but the chance to build something wiser from the ashes. That is the message I carry, not to glorify pain, but to insist that pain can be a teacher if you stay in the classroom. Daily practice. This is not performance, it is practice. I do not preach from a pedestal. I stand in the room where the mirror never negotiates. I remember every lie, every excuse, every promise I broke. I remember the people I hurt. I do not use those memories as trophies. I use them as evidence that the work is necessary and ongoing. When I say I am responsible, I mean I choose discipline over escape, apology over excuse, repair over denial. That is the daily practice. Invitation to practice. If you are tired of chasing projections, stop, face the mirror, ask the hard question, what am I bringing to every relationship? If you are ready to do the work, the universe will not hand you a perfect partner. It will hand you opportunities to practice presence. You will meet people who reflect your unlived life. You will be tempted to mistake recognition for completion. Do not. Use those meetings as invitations to integrate what you see. When two conscious people meet, the meeting is rare because the work is rare. Most people never face their shadow. Most never drop the persona. Most never integrate their inner opposite. Most never touch the deeper center of self. That is why conscious love is uncommon. When it happens, it is alchemical. It transforms both people into something more than they could become alone. Conclusion: the work. So if this finds you when you needed it, do not keep it as a label or a post. Let it be a practice. Share it with one man who is still fighting quietly. Tell him he is not alone. Tell him the mirror will ask hard questions and that answering is the only path to freedom. Tell him that Sigma is not a costume, but a consequence, and that consequence can be the foundation for compassion. I will keep walking this road, not because I have all the answers, but because I have learned to stop lying to myself. No masks, no performance, just one man telling the truth as honestly as he knows how. If you want to meet someone who sees you, become someone who can be seen. That is the work. That is the invitation.